Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, WVACRAO.org. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Brittany Thompson, and I'm the recruitment specialist with Marshall University School of Pharmacy. So we're going to talk a little bit about our program here at Marshall and what we have to offer. So we are located here in Huntington, West Virginia. So we're about 45 minutes from Charleston, which is the capital of West Virginia, about an hour and 55 minutes from Lexington, Kentucky, 2 hours and 30 minutes from Cincinnati, Ohio, 2 hours and 30 minutes from Columbus, Ohio, 3 hours from Louisville, Kentucky, 4 hours from Roanoke, Virginia, 4 hours and 20 minutes from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 4 hours and 20 minutes from Indianapolis, Indiana, 4 hours and 30 minutes from Cleveland, Ohio, 5 hours and 45 minutes from Richmond, Virginia, and then 6.5 hours from Washington, D.C. So you'll see here is a statue of John Marshall, the founder of the university, and you'll also see just some other campus landmarks. So some career options in pharmacy. You have academic pharmacy, such as pharmacy practice and pharmaceutical science. So this would be working at a school of pharmacy, such as here at Marshall. You've got ambulatory care pharmacy. So this type of pharmacy is for like whenever people are discharged from the hospital, and they do a lot of like meds to beds. So they're going to go over with you like how to use your medication, like if you were to go home with an inhaler or a nebulizer or something. You've got the most common one that students see most often, which is our community and retail pharmacy. So you've got Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS. There's also local pharmacies. I know here in the Huntington area, we have Fruth Pharmacy. I'm sure wherever you are watching this at, you also have some local community pharmacies. You have geriatric pharmacy. So this will be working in a long-term care facility, such as like a nursing home or rehabilitation center. You have government and federal pharmacy, working in the armed services, public health, FDA, Medicaid. This can even be working, in the CDC, which right now with the coronavirus pandemic would be a really interesting time to work in that section of public health. You also have one place here in Huntington, which is the VA hospital, and even, throughout West Virginia and whatever state you're watching this from, there are some of our Veteran Affairs hospitals, so you could always work at one of those. You have your hospital and institutional pharmacies, such as psychiatrics, pediatrics, oncology, critical care, cardiology. So this is where you would actually specialize and do a residency. You do have that option as a pharmacy student. You can do a PGY1 or PGY2. Those would just depend upon what area of pharmacy you want to specialize in. You have your nuclear pharmacy. You've got your compounding pharmacy. So a compounding pharmacy, they actually compound the medication there. And as a pharmacy student, you will learn in our lab how to do some compounding. So if you're a compounding pharmacist, let's say you have a pediatric patient who comes in who will not take their medication and they won't take it in a pill form or liquid form. So you're going to have to compound it into another form. So we teach our students how to compound them into gummy bears or lollipops. You've got your pharmaceutical industry. So working as a medical liaison in research development, sales and marketing, just some pharmaceutical industries, that are close to us. You've got Mylan Pharmaceuticals in Indianapolis. You also have Eli Lilly. You have pharmacy law and public policy, because laws are always changing and we always need people out there advocating for the field of pharmacy. The next one is pharmaceutical research. So if you are interested in like medicinal chemistry or doing certain areas of research, that's always an option for you. And you can always go to our website, marshall.edu/pharmacy, and learn about the different research that our faculty members have ongoing here at the school. You can start doing research as a P1 student here at the school, so that would be your first year. So if you're interested in research and kind of thinking about pharmacy, it's a good option for you. Then the last one is veterinary pharmacy. So veterinary pharmacy is one where you're going to work with animals. So, if you really like working with animals and have maybe considered being a vet before, this is a good field for you because you're going to be working with animals because they get sick just like we get sick. So a little bit of a breakdown about our program. We have 55% of our students are out of state and 45% of our students are in state. So some of you may be wondering, well, why do you have so many students out of state? And that is just because West Virginia, as a lot of you know, is just a small state. You can drive the whole state in one day. I mean, it's a smaller state. So a lot of our students do come from West Virginia. They come from Kentucky and they come from Ohio as well. So our male to female ratio is 46% to 54%. The student to faculty ratio is 8-1, and our ethnic and racial diversity is 20%. So healthcare is team-based, so why isn't the classroom? So you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, you've got your patient, and then you have all of these people who help your patient. So you have a physician, physician's assistant, registered nurse. You also could have a nurse practitioner in there. You've got your pharmacist. Then you have some specialists such as like dietitians, nutritionists. Then you also have your therapists such as like speech, physical, occupational. So you'll notice that pharmacy is it's very team-based. And that's something that, we really want you as a pharmacy student, we want you to learn how to work in a team and how to work in our group. So healthcare is team-based, so why isn't the classroom? So here is, these are actually our classrooms. So we have 2 large studio-sized classrooms, and then we have another large classroom that actually has a retractable wall that students can, pull, and that's for a lot of our elective classes. But the photos you'll see right now, these are our larger studio classrooms, and these are actually students in class. So this is Dr. McAleer's class. So forget boring lectures, engage in our active learning experience, the flipped classroom. Students in our program receive iPads when they begin their program. So you can also see iPads, you can see their laptops that they're using. And so they receive their iPads when they start our program. They receive all of their coursework 48 to 72 hours in advance of class. So you cannot procrastinate in pharmacy school. So when you come, you work in a group. So you do a lot with Kahoot. If some of you have used Kahoot in school before, you do a lot with Kahoot. You do a lot of case studies, but your faculty members come alongside and learn with you. So they're not teaching at you, they're learning with you. So like I mentioned, students receive their lectures at home and homework is in the classroom with your friends and your faculty. So here's a traditional classroom. So this is what you're going to see most common. So has stadium seating, lecture-based, independent learning, passive involvement. And then these are our Marshall classrooms. So you'll see they're very team-based, very collaborative, and have a lot of active involvement. So this is our compounding laboratory. And this is located here in the building on the 2nd floor. So I'm going to try to show my mouse and circle it around so you can see. Up here, up front by the 3 TV screens, you will see a camera. You can't see it good in this photo, but you'll see a camera. So actually when the instructors are in the classroom, they actually stand up here and what they're modeling projects up on all of these screens. So you don't have a lot of students hovering around in the class. Over here, back in the back, you'll see this is where they actually learn to scrub in and do some sterile compounding. And then this area over here, this is kind of like a long hallway, but over there, that is where students learn to do sterile compounding. So for example, they have to, they'll compound like an IV bag, and then they have to let it grow overnight. And if there's any bacteria on it, then your instructor knows that you did not do it sterile. You did not maybe scrub in properly, or maybe gown up properly. So just some of our program insights, all of our rotational hours are built into our program. You do receive 3 certifications. So that is diabetes management, immunizations, and then medication therapy management. And then you also receive an intern license in all 3 states just because of where we're located. So we are located here in the tri-state area, and I can go and cross one bridge and be in Kentucky, and then I can go across another bridge and be right in Ohio. So that's why you get the license there in all 3 states. Just some program outcomes. This is one of our previous classes that graduated. This is the class of 2019. So their on-time graduation rate was 94%. The NAPLEX first attempt pass rate was 85%, and then job placement at the time of graduation was 88%. So a lot of our students, when they graduated, they already had jobs. So this is for if you are planning on coming to Marshall for undergrad. So there's several different ways you can come to pharmacy school, and there's not one exact route you have to go. There's multiple routes you can go. So this is one of them, and this is called the BS to PharmD. So it's a 3+4 accelerated program. So how this program works is you would start undergrad at Marshall. You would major in chemistry or biology in the College of Science. You would meet the GPA recommendations, and then you would apply for early decision and have a seat in the class. So you would go 3 years of doing your prerequisites. Then your 4th year, you would apply to pharmacy school. Like I said, meet the GPA recommendations, apply for early decision. Then you would have a guaranteed seat in the class. And then after your 1st year of pharmacy school, we would send all of your credits back to the university, and they would award you with a bachelor's degree. So that is an option for you. This is also another option. So this is our Early Assurance Scholars Program, and this is a 2+4 program. So you would come to Marshall for undergrad and do 2 years of prerequisites and then apply and then start 4 years of pharmacy school. So 6 years to a doctorate degree. It's pretty quick. So just some requirements. You do have to enroll as a freshman at Marshall. You have to have a 3.4 or higher unweighted GPA, 24 composite ACT, 21 in math, or an 1160 on the SAT. How you would apply is you would complete the Marshall undergraduate application and be admitted to the university. Then you would complete our application, which is the MUSOP Early Assurance Application, and it's located on our website. Just some program benefits from this program is you get mentoring from some pharmacy faculty. You get invited to exclusive pharmacy events such as the Dean Talks. We also have speakers who come in, just national speakers who will come and talk to our pharmacy students. You'll be invited to those. You do not have to take the PCAT, so no PCAT is required. You will also have free membership in our pre-pharmacy club at Marshall. And then you'll have admittance into the PharmD program just after 2 years. So this is also, this is new. This actually started this year, but this is our pre-pharmacy living learning community. So within the pre-pharmacy living learning community, you would live with other pre-pharmacy majors, share some of the same courses as the LLC members. You would have access to peer mentors and tutoring services in the residence hall. You would have membership in pre-pharmacy club, and you would attend special programs and activities hosted by the dean. So if you do plan on coming to Marshall and you are interested in pre-pharmacy, you want to live on campus, this is a great option for you. All right, so where do you start for the pharmacy school admissions process? So this would be after completing your prerequisites. So it's a 4-year program, no undergraduate degree is required, no minimum GPA or PCAT score. So a little bit about financial aid. So students without undergraduate degrees. So if you were to go and do 2 to 3 years of your prerequisites, you would be a student without an undergraduate degree. So you would be eligible for scholarships such as the West Virginia Promise, Marshall Academic, MUSOP scholarships, federal undergraduate loans, private loans if undergrad loans are unavailable. So if you have any type of financial aid after you've completed 2 to 3 years of the prerequisites, if you have any financial aid left over, you can actually apply that to pharmacy school. So, you know, just because you're going to pharmacy school doesn't mean that you're going to lose that money, because you're not. So students with undergraduate degrees, so this would mean that you got your bachelor's degree or even went on and got a bachelor's and a master's. You are eligible for scholarships as well as federal graduate loans. So your first step would be to check the prerequisite coursework. And then, so here is a little bit about our prerequisite coursework. So it all has to be completed prior to enrolling in the program. So by August 1st of the year you would enroll. We do accept coursework through the summer of enrollment year. You do have to have a C or better in courses, and we do accept AP credit as well as dual credit. So in high school right now for you all, it's really good that you are taking AP classes, dual credit classes, and if you're not taking those classes, I really encourage you to do those because those will help you get a jump start on to your pharmacy career. So you'll see over here on the left-hand side is the courses. So you've got English composition for 2 semesters, calculus for 1 semester of statistics, 2 semesters of biology with lab, 2 semesters of chemistry with lab, 1 semester of human anatomy with lab, 1 semester of human physiology with lab. And whether you plan on coming to Marshall or even going to another institution, these classes, if you were to take human anatomy, if some institutions word it as human anatomy and physiology 1 and human anatomy and physiology 2, you would have to take both of those. You also have to have 1 semester of microbiology with lab, 2 semesters of organic chemistry with lab, 1 semester of physics with lab, and then 1 semester of a social science. So that social science requirement can be psychology, sociology, something like that. And then for the statistics, we have also counted like biostats. If you were to take that, we will accept that as well. If you ever have any questions about the prerequisite coursework, always feel free to email myself or someone here at the school, and we can definitely help you with that. So you do apply on PharmCast for the PharmD program. So the deadline every year is June the 1st, and you would apply just on pharmcast.org. So you also have to complete a supplemental application. And so a little bit about our interview process. We have 3 portions to the interview. So we have the multiple mini interviews, we have a critical thinking, and then we have my personal favorite, which is group dilemma, because we want to see, how do you work in a group? Do you interact with others? Do you not interact with others? So that portion is always really fun to work with. So what makes a competitive applicant? So number 1 would be applying early. Number 2 would be selecting great references. So whenever you're applying to a professional program, you definitely want to have great references. And I have to say this every year because it does happen. Please do not have your parents write your letter of recommendation, or your grandparents, or a family member, or your best friend, or even someone who doesn't know you that well. So make sure that you do select great references, learn to communicate effectively, and then show passion, because as a pharmacist, your goal is to help your patient live a healthier life. Come and visit us. We are located here downtown Huntington at Stephen J. Cobb Hall. We're right off of Halgreer Boulevard, very close to Cabell Huntington Hospital and the Forensic Science Center. We would love to show you around. We are doing campus tours even with COVID. So if you do want to come and visit, you're more than welcome to. Just please email Megan or myself, and we will get an appointment scheduled with you. So this is our graduate housing that we have that as a pharmacy student you can live in. And so the graduate housing is, it's really nice. It's within 5 minutes of our facility. So a lot of our pharmacy students live there. They're fully furnished studio and 2-bedroom options. They have stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, washer and dryers are in the unit, all inclusive rent. All of your utilities are included in that: high-speed internet, cable TV, private bathrooms, on-site parking, card access entry to the building. So they are pet friendly as well. So, if you have pets, this is an option for you, but this is only for pharmacy students. So or graduate students as well as pharmacy students. So as an undergrad, you can't live here, but if you do come to the school pharmacy as a PharmD student, you can absolutely live here. And then lastly, here is just some more. If you would like additional information, you can visit marshall.edu/pharmacy. You can always email pharmacy@marshall.edu. You can contact Megan Russell. She's the Director of Recruitment and Development, and her email and phone number is there, as well as mine. Like I said, my name is Brittany Thompson. I'm the Recruitment Specialist, and then there's my email. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. So if anyone has any questions, just feel free to type those in the chat box for us.
All right, Brittany, thank you for presenting and providing that information on the School of Pharmacy at Marshall University. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at WVACRAO.org. In about a week, you will find this session's recording as well as other session recordings at WVACRAO.org. Thank you.